At OPTAVIA, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. The following audio contains the personal testimonials of independent coaches and clients within the OPTAVIA community. Their results are based on the unique experiences of their journey. We cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope these stories inspire you to continue your journey with or join OPTAVIA, but please note they have not been verified and your individual journey to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider in the U.S. or a doctor in Singapore and Hong Kong prior to beginning your journey with OPTAVIA. Additionally, this audio may contain income or earning representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. We cannot guarantee financial success. Success with OPTAVIA is derived from successful sales efforts, which required hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. OPTAVIA acknowledges that this audio may be accessible to OPTAVIA coaches in the U.S., Hong Kong, and Singapore. For independent OPTAVIA coaches operating in the U.S., please see the OPTAVIA Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of U.S. coaches under the U.S. Compensation Plan. Please note that the Income Disclosure Statement only applies to independent OPTAVIA coaches operating in the U.S. under the U.S. Compensation Plan and does not in any way constitute any representations as to actual or potential accrual of benefits for Hong Kong or Singapore coaches under the International Compensation Plan. Yours in Health, the OPTAVIA team.
Welcome for joining us. We're going to kick off these next 30 minutes. Again, my name is Dawn Fischer. I'm an independent certified OPTAVIA coach, and I get to be your host for the next 30 minutes, and I get to introduce these wonderful stories. I've been part of this community and this mission of helping others for a little over 11 years. I became a health coach to help my father. And, I'm just really humbled in just reflecting on how incredible this journey's been. I'm going to show you a little bit about me. So 11 years ago, I was working as a full-time nurse on a trauma unit, and I was working 45 plus hours away from home. I was commuting to and from work, and I was stressed out. I was burned out, and I was just hoping to drop 25 pounds. And I was just looking for a solution. I want to share with you that that middle picture is a lot more than 25 pounds. I ended up losing 45. Current reality was a little hard for me to take, but what actually ended up changing in my life was so much more than just the weight loss. And if you've been part of our community for even more than a day, chances are you know that. So today, my life has changed dramatically for the good because I chose this community and this program, and I just followed the process. I was nervous because when I started coaching, I was only 2 weeks into this whole process. I was still just wanting to lose 25 pounds and not have pain in my back and my feet at work. And so what ended up happening is I actually got to create a life that brings so much fulfillment and so much joy. And I can't even imagine how many lives might not have been impacted because I said yes. Because I said yes, so many other people got to see what was possible because we all have a ripple. We all have a potential ripple. You don't live in a vacuum or a cave, at least I hope you don't. And the people around you are going to see as your life starts to change. So if you're joining us and you're a client on our program or you're just kind of checking us out, I just want you to know that we do create predictable transformations and people are going to notice. And so what I'm really excited just to get to share with you is that people are going to notice and you're going to have an opportunity to share this with them if you choose to. And we help people change their lives just one healthy habit at a time. And I'm going to show you some of the people that had the opportunity to share this gift with their friends and family because I said yes. And when I said yes, you guys, I had no idea that their lives would be changed. So I want to bring on the first couple, one of my favorite couples in the world. Actually, all three of these couples are amazing and my favorites. I couldn't even ever pick a favorite, but I want to bring on Rod and Lynette Jost. And I want to not steal even a minute of their story. So Rod, Lynette, are you with us tonight? Can you come off and just share a little bit about your story and the ripple of health?
Hi there. We would love to share. So first of all, my name is Lynette. This is Rod, my husband, and we live in beautiful Wyoming. There you see a picture of our family out on our 40-acre ranch, our little ranch, and you see our grandkids on the John Deere Gator there this last summer. So that's just a little bit of our family and our picture. My day job is a teacher. So I've been teaching for 22 years. Currently I'm teaching kindergarten. And this is my husband, Rod, and he has been a pastor for 35 years, and he's also a really gifted musician. So as you can see from that first slide, we had some great success on the program. So I just want to kind of take you back 4 years ago and kind of tell you a little bit what happened. So my coach, Andrea, I just want to say a big thank you to her for sharing OPTAVIA with us. If she hadn't shared it with us, we wouldn't be where we are today. And I also just want to thank her for not giving up on us, because I said no many times before I said yes. And so thank you, Andrea, for that. But like so many people, I entered into the program just needing to lose weight. I lost 50 pounds on the program. I got healthier. I dodged a whole bunch of health issues by dropping the weight, and Rod got healthy with me, right along with me. And so it was really great to be able to do this together. I started coaching about 5 months later. I had friends and family noticing and were reaching out to me on my transformation. And when I first thought about coaching, I was really skeptical about it. I had some concepts. I didn't understand the business model of it. And so I was a little hesitant. I just didn't understand. I just know there's a lot of things out there, and I just didn't want to be a part of some of those things. But I sensed that something was different with this. And I thought, hey, if I can pay for my fuelings a little bit, that would be really awesome. And just being able to help some people too. So I'm going to turn it over to Rod. He's going to tell a little bit.
Yeah, my role started out just as being supportive with her. And that's kind of a trait in our marriage. She's always been supportive of me. So I just was there giving her the encouragement she needed. And it was just amazing to see the change and transformation in her life. And then with the coaching, I just love, my role is to kind of be the back end of a lot of things that are going on. I really enjoy listening to her coach and watching her coach. She doesn't always know this, that I'm doing that, but you can tell that she's really enjoying it. She's making friends, she's making difference and change. And it's cool because when she gets off of a call, oftentimes, I will get to know these people through this, and some of them are good friends, but then we'll kind of chit chat and really be encouraged by the good things that are happening. I said I'm kind of a supportive role. I do a lot of the cooking, the cleaning, and keeping the shop going and all that. I do the finances and all that. What's really been cool, the big change and transformation for us is finances. It used to be finances were frustrating and horrible. Not anymore. Really enjoy doing that. Lynette followed me around state to state as I was a pastor, and I had 3 different positions that I was in. And so to be that supportive to her is really being good. OPTAVIA is a great fit for us. We both have servant type of positions in the community as a pastor and as a teacher. So as OPTAVIA coaches and working together in that, it still stays in the same frame of mind. OPTAVIA is also a great, healthy environment. Oftentimes when you get into work environments, you get kind of a corporate ladder mindset or whatever, or competitive. And that is not so. I've been blown away by, it doesn't matter what tier somebody is on, they are helping us out, whether it's Brad or Dawn or Andrea or whoever, and even people on the side and below us, they're just really helpful. So one of the beautiful things that's happened for me is that due to the financial, I've been able to cut back voluntarily on my own salary at the church that I work at. I only work 8 hours a week, which frees us up for more family. And Lynette mentioned I'm a musician, doing more of that and really enjoying it. And also to spend more time with her. I like that. We're buds.
Well, anyway, we had no idea 4 years ago just the blessing that OPTAVIA would be. I like to call OPTAVIA our encore career. This is going to kind of take us into the next phase of life. And, you all saw that picture of our grandkids on that first slide. And that's really what matters the most to us. And, we are grandparents that must travel. And so that is what we are looking forward to. We're looking forward to that time freedom, to be able to spend time with our family and to be able to go and see them whenever we want. So this is such a gift.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks.
I love it, you guys. Thank you so much for sharing. And I just have to say, for everyone who's on with us live, the picture behind them out their picture windows just a few minutes ago was this gorgeous Wyoming sunset. So anyways, thank you, Rod and Lynette, for sharing your story. And thanks for being part of that ripple, because you guys said yes. So many other people have gotten to say yes. And love that family is one of the anchors and something that's so important to you and your why. And it was actually your daughter that introduced you to this next amazing couple that I want to bring on. So I want to bring on Tonya and Sam Sturino, joining us from Arizona. You guys, are you with us tonight?
Yes, hi.
Hey, Dawn.
Hi, you guys. Well, share a little bit about this ripple of health and helping others that's happened in your guys' life.
Yes, we are so honored to be here. And Rod and Lynette, isn't their story so amazing? They're like, we've worked with them for the past 3 years. And this is what I love about this community and this coaching community is really the fact that they're not just our coaches, they're our friends, and then they become our family. And so like Dawn said, every day I'm just so thankful that her daughter introduced us to this program, because she had no idea that I needed this, and it was through all of their stories that I was able to really change my life inside and out. This was something that I needed that I had no clue that I needed. A little bit of backstory about me. I was always kind of an extreme person. So anyone else out there living extreme in every little nook and cranny of their life, that was me. I was either, super happy, not super happy. I either didn't eat at all, or I ate too much. I overexercised, or I didn't exercise. I was really out of balance. And so I needed this. I really needed this. And after our second child, I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I need to show up as the best mom I can be. I need to be healthy. It's not just me that I'm taking care of. It's my family and my kids, and they need me. So I went on to losing 45 pounds and feeling really just balanced in every area of life for the first time ever, physically, mentally, everything. So it was truly a mind-body experience for me. And it only took me a week for me to say yes to coaching, because I was just feeling so good for the first time ever. So they were like, hey, would you be interested in just exploring that? And I was like, yeah, I would, because I've always loved helping people, and I felt amazing. So really my health coaching story and my health story kind of intertwine, and really both of those aspects together is what made it even better for me, I feel like, because I was feeling good, I was helping others, and then in turn, by helping others, it held me accountable in my health, and thus, I continued feeling amazing. So before coaching, I was working as a dental and oral surgery assistant, and I loved it. I loved helping people. I've always loved doing that. I've always been a hard worker, but I've always been a dreamer and more of like a visionary and creative. And so a lot of times I'd show up to work, get off of work, go pick up the kids, come home, the sun's down, it's time for bed. And I'm like, wow, this is it? Like, is this really it? Because for me, I've always felt like I needed something more in my life, and I was meant for more, meant just for something. And also the fact that I've always dreamed of making my own schedule, not waking up to an alarm, not having someone tell me what to do. I mean, that's just me. But so, yeah, this is exactly what we are doing now. And this is amazing. And I got into coaching from just people sharing their stories, Rod and Lynette sharing what was possible financially. And I was like, hey, if Rod and Lynette can do this, I can do this. And so I was like, hey babe, we can do this. And I was the one that was just, again, such an entrepreneurial spirit. So I was like, yeah, we can do this. But I'll pass it on to my husband, Sam, who has always been my biggest supporter, but he was a bit of a skeptic at first.
Yeah, that's actually super true. I was like the ultimate skeptic of this whole thing at first. I guess you could call me like the overweight Scrooge or something like that. Skeptic Sam, I don't know. But honestly, you guys, it didn't take that long for me to make the shift. After about 2 weeks of watching my wife on program, I just noticed the change in her physical appearance, her mood, her energy, everything was changing. And I wanted a piece of that. So long story short, I jumped on program. My wife's ripple effect trickled down to me, and I jumped on program and I lost 50 pounds. I was feeling great. And even though my wife, Tonya, she started coaching immediately, I wasn't on board with coaching at first. I served for 9 years in the military at the time that she decided to become a health coach. And you guys, I love my job. So while I was serving in the military, I grew this huge passion for service towards others. I had no intention of changing my career path anytime soon. And I loved everything about the military. It was that job security. I was able to provide my family without ever having to worry about anything really. What made me really shift and want to partner with my wife in coaching was we went to an OPTAVIA event together, and I got to listen to Dr. A speak for the very first time in person. And I don't know if you've ever been to an event where you're sitting in the crowd and you feel that passionate speaker, it's just speaking to you. And then there's the other speaker who's like just doing it. They're up there giving their talk because it's their job. Well, Dr. A really spoke right to my heart. And I knew right then that I could jump on board with this mission of getting the world healthy. I seriously, I left that event. You can ask her. And I was like, this is freaking awesome. I'm ready to rock and roll. We partnered up and started team coaching together. It was just so great that I found another way to serve people. And we were making an additional supplemental income on top of my military pay. At this point, I still had no intention of leaving the military, you guys. I wanted to go the distance, complete my 20 years of service, retire from the military. But it was about 6 months after that event that I really had that like aha moment. I was driving to work in my truck, heading north on I-15 in Salt Lake City. And someone on the radio just said, if we're lucky enough, we'll get 18 summers with our kids. And in that moment, I was like, whoa, that's crazy to think about. I was overcome with this sense of emotion. And I started thinking about all of
sporting events.
Yeah, all the sporting events. I don't know, the missed bedtimes, the missed birthdays and holidays. The list really, really goes on and on. The military life can be super fulfilling, but at the same time, you do miss a lot of those special events. So I knew at that moment, it was time for us to walk down a different path. You guys, I'm super excited to tell you that as of this year, July 2020, I was able to walk away from the military in July, right? During the midst of this crazy pandemic and all this craziness, OPTAVIA was the light through the storm for us. We planted roots here in Arizona. This is where we've always wanted to live. We bought a house. That's these pictures that you see. That's the day we got our keys to the house. And now we're full-time health coaches together, living in a fully integrated life. And before I pass it back to you, Dawn, I heard this quote the other day and it just kind of stuck with me. So the quote is, live a life that will outlive you. And I'll say that again, live a life that will outlive you. You guys, that is exactly what OPTAVIA can provide you the opportunity with. Giving the gift of health is one of the most meaningful things that you can do for someone. Giving the gift of health coaching is one of the most impactful things that you can do for something. And I truly believe that there's a reason why you're tuned into this call tonight. Whether you believe it or not, you're already making a difference in someone else's life. So thank you, Dawn.
Oh my gosh. Sam and Tonya, thank you so much. You guys, I can just feel your energy. And I love that you are such a young family and you get to grasp hold of this gift so young. And Sam, thank you for your service. By the way, we know your heart and passion, and now you get to pour that into this and giving this gift away. So thank you guys so much. And I'm excited that because you guys said yes, this next couple that I get to bring on, they had the opportunity to say yes. And you guys, I don't, again, want to steal even a second of Heaven and Shep's time with you tonight. So Heaven, Shep, because Tonya and Sam said yes, the ripple continues to you, my friends. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. Wow, it is definitely, like Tonya and Sam said, an honor to be on here with you guys. And those are my coaches, and their heart, oh my goodness, it's a blessing to be able to be a part of this mission and to be, join hands with them in doing so. But I'll take you guys back less than 2 years ago. It's been about 1.5 years ago. My background is in personal training, but in 10 years of personal training, I was carrying around extra 20 to 30 pounds, really abusing exercise, terrible relationship with food. I found my coach through social media. I found Tonya through social media, and she walked me through just how to attain optimal health. I was able to lose 30 pounds. And in doing so, I found that this was going to be an awesome opportunity for me to serve other people. And so I jumped into coaching about a month after. I had only lost 10 pounds at the time, but I was like, hey, I know this is working. And because of the field that I was working in, I knew tons of people were looking for a solution. And I believed wholeheartedly that I had that solution in my hands. And as I got into coaching, you guys, I really didn't know what I was getting into, besides I knew I was going to help people get healthy. But I found a sense of passion and vision and mission, because for me, for a long time in my life, I was looking for an avenue, something to be able to serve people and to use my voice in my life. I believed I was called to do that, but for a long time, I tried to sit at tables, you guys, where I just wasn't meant to sit. And so I was always thinking and praying, like, God, where do you want me to be? Where can I serve people and use, the gifts that you've given me in my heart to be a blessing to other people? And OPTAVIA became that table that I could sit at and be accepted and bring others with me. And as I loved on people, things began to change in our family financially. And I was one of those people, I was a huge avoider. I avoided looking at my bank account. I avoided thinking about the future because I didn't have a plan for it. And because of OPTAVIA, we're about to welcome our second baby into this world in January. And I'm not worried about that. And during a global pandemic, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about their future, but we have a plan for it now. And now my passion is not just to get people's bodies healthy, but to get people's families healthy and give them opportunities, because I know what it's like not to have a plan. I know what it's like to not want to look too far into the future because you barely have enough for today. And OPTAVIA has been that blessing for us. And so I'm going to pass it on to my husband. So he can share.
Energy train. It's 1,600 people on here. Show me your teeth real quick. Smile and have some energy when we close this thing out. But really quick, my health journey started with my wife. She killed it. And me being a former athlete, didn't care much because I ate what I wanted. I hated working out because I worked out for so long. But as I saw her, she gave me the desire to want to be well-rounded, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and the Habits of Health system helped with that. And plus, again, I got 2 girls. I'm the only male figure in this house. So I gotta be swole and be healthy. Can't have no flabby daddy, okay? And the next thing, right? I wanted to speak for those who didn't, and why I got into coaching is because I wanted to speak for those who didn't have a weight loss story, because this program is not just about those with weight loss. You can look at my picture there. I was never a big guy. But with that, I wanted to say, man, I really want to get that. I want to be able to reach people who's like, hey, is this a diet? No, it's not. This is a lifestyle, right? Okay. And also, coaching has allowed my family and I to be fueled by vision and not by budget. Not to look at the budget and say, we can't, but what's possible, because we have the vision. Now we have the heart and the tools to go out and do those things. Next, this is an extension of ministry for me. I'm a full-time minister of the gospel. I work for Fellowship of Christian Athletes on the University of Maryland. That's what I do for a living, but this is an extension. I would never be able to speak to 1,600 people at once, but I'm doing it right now. So all of that attachment, I just get opportunity to love people for a living. Literally love on people for a living, get in their world, and have opportunities to meet with them, talk to them, see them in ways that I never would have before. So I'm grateful for everybody on this call. Thank you for my wife for saying yes, because she made me say yes. And now the sky's the limit for our family.
Oh my goodness, you guys. Love people for a living. I am going to write that down and put it in my office. Heaven Shep, thank you so much for just sharing your story, and congratulations on baby number 2 coming very, very shortly. Seriously, you guys, we could listen to these stories all night long. I'm sure you could, but I'm sure that now I've been looking at the chat and people are like, I love it. So many people are just inspired even right now to get a little bit of some of what you guys have, right? A little bit of mission, purpose, passion, ability to walk away from something, but to walk towards something that matters to you. So I'm going to spend just a few minutes as we wrap up this call, you guys, and I am going to just talk a little bit about what coaching actually looks like. So this is basically a slide that shares that worldwide statistics are: we are unhealthy, we are unhappy, people are in debt, and they need what we have, okay? The statistics show it. And who we are as a company, you guys, is steeped in medical heritage. We've been around for over 40 years. Our coaching community, like you guys just heard, is committed to helping people live better lives and providing solutions for people. We create predictable transformation and change. We are not a diet. So if you're looking for that, this is not what is not going to make you happy. It's not going to be the table that you're probably going to want to sit at, but this is a table where people sit at who want to change the world, who have integrity. We're partnered with one of the most trustworthy companies in America. Okay, we have been recognized for our integrity on so many levels, but including Forbes, and we are publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Our programs are recommended by thousands and thousands of physicians. I've been a registered nurse for over 15 years. That in and of itself, the safety, the credibility, the efficacy of our programs, that matters to me. Like I said, I started coaching to help my dad, and I was going to make sure that whatever it is he did was healthy and safe. And this is, we are based in the US. Our headquarters are in Baltimore, Maryland. And, you know, speaking of coaches, there's over 30,000 independent OPTAVIA health coaches. And you know what I can say? Our table is big, and we have seats for you if you want to come sit at our table and you want to be part of this amazing mission. And last but not least, I got to introduce this man on the screen. This is Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson. He's the co-founder of our program. He's also an independent health coach, and he's a New York Times best-selling author. He was one of the nation's first board-certified critical care physicians, and he just got tired of pulling people out of the grave, of putting a Band-Aid on something that he could actually go upstream and help people with. So he was a creator of our Habits of Health transformational system. He was the creator of the key to basically unlocking having that personal responsibility in your life and helping move the dial forward on your health, one healthy habit at a time. So he has devoted his life to really forging new territory in this realm of creating optimal health and well-being. And we couldn't be more proud and honored to partner with him, his integrity, his mission, his vision, and his life's work. So this is what we actually help people with. We help people with 3 areas, and all together it is optimal well-being. Okay. Many people come in looking for a healthy body because that's the most visible in our lives. But you know, we know that the healthy mind is that catalyst to long-term change. And so we really focus there. We focus on making improvements in all areas of this. And you heard some beautiful stories tonight of where that financial well-being and abundance can really open up and unlock options for you in your life, options for you to spend time with the people that you love more, to do the things that you love more. And so I just want to take a moment and ask you to really think, where are you in this? Where are you in your healthy body, healthy mind, and your optimal health as far as your finances? And where would you like to move forward? We coach to 4 components, which is pretty incredible. We don't have to recreate them. You have an independent health coach. That's what we do. We help you. If you're a client, you can also help your friends and family because you can sit at our table. We want to help this ripple of health go further and farther. You have friends and family that you can touch that we simply can't. We have the Habits of Health transformational system, an amazing community, which you are diving into right now and getting a firsthand experience with. And then we have best-in-class fuelings. They are the best. They are safe, they are effective, and they help people reach their physical health goals so they can move on to other areas that are important to them. There are so many benefits to becoming a health coach. I don't even know like where to start on this one, but basically, like you just heard in the stories, it helps reinforce your decision to be healthy. Paying it forward makes a huge difference. We are compensated well. It's the currency of goodwill. You can tell we have a whole lot of fun. And like Rod and Lynette, and actually everybody spoke to, you get to leave a legacy, and that is incredible. it's a progressive growth model. So, you know, you're never alone. You actually get to set your own pace. You can start off helping clients, and then clients usually decide that they want to help coach others. And then sometimes they almost always have people who want to help others too. So actually you can help just a few people, a few friends and family. You can help coaches, or you can help entire teams of coaches. You can have as big an impact as you want in the world. So how does it work for coaches? It's really relationship based. We are focused on optimal well-being. And so we share with others and we care about them. You're self-employed. There's so many people looking for what we offer. You can do this full-time or part-time. There's low startup costs and there's absolutely no inventory. So you get to really take this and spread it with your friends and family and make an impact with very little impact on your life and your schedule, right? Like, in fact, it opens up so much flexibility for you because you can work from anywhere. No quotas, no monthly purchases, and all of the training and support is there for you. Like, again, you are never alone. You get comprehensive training, you guys, and it's all online. So with all of the pandemic and everything happening around us, life hasn't skipped a beat for us. In fact, we've gotten busier and helped more people in the last 6 to 8 months than we ever have before. So with this, you really learn as you earn. There's no trainings or studying to do. You actually have someone to walk right beside you along with you. You have a business coach and a mentorship team. This is the only thing in my life where I've ever had other people care more about my success and well-being sometimes than I even did myself. And that is precious, you guys. So we have team coaching, you work at your own pace, and you know what? The sky is the limit. So as I close, I just want to say thank you for joining us. Absolutely enjoyed our time together this evening, and I enjoyed sharing what's possible. I want to thank Rod and Lynette, Tonya, Sam, and Heaven and Shep for sharing. And I'll leave you with some final words. I really want to invite you to find a community that can support you in your goals and living your best life. Okay, I want you to find a table that fits for you to sit at, and you might consider joining us. And if you do, please reach out to the person that invited you here, reach out to your coach and explore what it might look like. You know, what I'll ask you is just consider where you are now and where you would like to be in your life. Would you like more ability to spend the time with those you love, more options to help those around you, and a more positive community to surround yourself with? Because if that is your jam, then we invite you. We want you to focus on what matters most to you, and it's waiting for you out there. So I just invite you to find it. I invite you to believe in yourself, and I want to thank you for joining us this evening. So I want you to have a wonderful night and live the best, most healthiest life possible for yourself. Thanks for joining us.
At OPTAVIA, our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. The prior audio contained the personal testimonials of independent coaches and clients within the OPTAVIA community. Their results are based on the unique experiences of their journey. We cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope those stories inspire you to continue your journey with or to consider joining OPTAVIA. But please note that they have not been verified and your individual journey to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider in the US or a doctor in Singapore and Hong Kong prior to beginning your journey with OPTAVIA. Additionally, this audio may have contained income or earning representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. We cannot guarantee financial success. Success with OPTAVIA is derived from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. OPTAVIA acknowledges that this audio may be accessible to OPTAVIA coaches in the US, Hong Kong, and Singapore. For independent OPTAVIA coaches operating in the US, please see the OPTAVIA income disclosure statement for statistics on actual earnings of US coaches under the U.S. compensation plan. Please note that the income disclosure statement only applies to independent OPTAVIA coaches operating in the U.S. under the U.S. compensation plan and does not in any way constitute any representations as to actual or potential accrual of benefits for Hong Kong or Singapore coaches under the international compensation plan. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.